Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Zesty Thoughts with your host, Annábla. Welcome to episode 55. I hope everyone has had a wonderful week. I've had a pretty chill week myself. I'm about to have the opposite of a chill week. My schedule's about to change a lot, so I'm glad that I had the calm before the storm, if you know what I mean. It was my mom's birthday on Friday, so we had birthday celebrations and festivities all weekend. Went to a concert in Dana Point this weekend, stayed for the night over the weekend. I don't know about y'all, I love me a little one night weekend getaway, drive out during the day somewhere else in SoCal and do whatever, have fun, go out, enjoy a Saturday night, and then wake up Sunday morning, sleep in a little bit, continental, hopefully free continental breakfast in the hotel. This family, we're more of a hotel family as opposed to Airbnb. We're racking up them points with Marriott, you feel me? So we're free continental breakfast vibe, free coffee, all that jazz. Sleep in, checkouts typically 11, which is not bad. Could definitely be worse. So no complaints there. And then we took the coast back up, but I don't know about y'all. I love a little weekend getaway, just a one nighter like that. Super fun. Just my vibe. I love it. So yeah, we had a really nice weekend. We went to the Coach House. It is a music venue in San Juan Capistrano in South Orange County. It's such an enigma. I actually grew up in Orange County, so I grew up going there a lot to see friends play. I've played there once. I've had friends play there a ton of times, but I think I've only played there one time. And it's such a weird venue because it's cool, but it's weird. It's all long, thin banquet table seating essentially. There's private boxes on the second floor that you can get. But primarily the seating is on just it's floor seating, but it's all banquet tables. It's super weird. And then there's on the outer edges, there's booths. And then there's a bar and bar seating, I guess. But yeah, it's super odd. Obviously there's a dinner minimum. That's I think other than obviously paying for the actual ticket to see the artist, that's how the venue makes a lot of money. They serve food. And so you're sat at a dinner table essentially. And then you're enjoying live music. So it's a little weird. For those of you that prefer floor seating and you want to stand for an event, it's kind of just an odd thing, but I guess it makes sense for certain artists. But anyway, we saw Led Zeppelin. We are huge Led Zeppelin fans in this household. I myself have a Led Zeppelin tattoo, tried and true, number one favorite band of all time. And we've actually been following Led Zeppelin and the Jason Bonham Experience for a while now. We've been seeing them for years. And we went to see them. It was for my mom's birthday. So it was fun. We had a nice little dinner. I had some wine. I looked at the menu when I got there and they have an Impossible steak. And I was like, what does that mean? Now, I wasn't sure if this was a new Impossible item. For those of you that don't know, Impossible is a plant-based meat company. And they make chicken nuggets that they sell at Trader Joe's. I think they sell them really Impossible is sold everywhere, but the chicken nuggets I've seen at Trader Joe's. And then they sell Impossible ground beef and burger patties, but I've seen a lot of ads of them making other products chicken strips, things like that. So when I saw that on the menu, I was like, oh my God, I thought it was a new product or something. But I also thought in my head, well, maybe they just are making essentially a patty out of it, the ground part, and then grilling it, which is what it was, but it was still really good. I've always preferred the flavor of the Impossible meat to the Beyond Meat, because the Beyond Meat, in my opinion, leaves a really weird aftertaste. Regardless, it was really good. I was going to get the catch of the day, but I was like, wait, I haven't had a meat alternative in a while. So let me go for it and try it. It was actually busting. I put some A1 on this shit. I had a baked potato, some veggies, and I was just like, okay, period. And I had a glass of wine. We were just vibing out, and then went back to the hotel, had some munchies, you feel me? And yeah, I just had a nice morning, a nice chill, relaxing morning. I've been waking up earlier. It's the weirdest thing ever. Because if you were to ask me literally a month ago, yeah, you're going to wake up at 6, 7 a.m. on average, I'd be like, sure. Right. That's totally a thing. Me a month ago was like, yeah, waking up early, that's in the past. That was childhood. That was college years. We don't do that anymore here. But part of my new schedule is going to be waking up early, baby. So I've been slowly adjusting over the last like week. And I woke up today at 6:30. And I only had one alarm, which is saying a lot. Because normally, on average, I used to wake up at like 8 or 9. If I needed to wake up prior to 8 a.m., I'd have to set like 3 alarms, like 7, 7:05, 7:10, to make sure that my body would actually wake up and actually respond to the alarm and actually exit REM, you know? But I've been going to bed earlier, obviously. So I feel like the math is just mathing and it's working out. And my body is like not in total shock, which is fantastic. Probably because I've actually been like going to bed at a reasonable time to make sure I get 7-ish, 8 hours of sleep. You feel me? That's that bare minimum. So I'm really proud of myself for shifting my schedule to an early schedule. Period. So proud of me for that. But yeah, we had a really nice weekend. Then we drove up the coast on the way home. Then when we got home, I locked the fuck in. I meal prepped like a maniac. I went to Whole Foods because there's just like a few things that I needed. And then I went to town. Okay, part of this is a follow-up segment. A few episodes ago, I placed a formal SOS. I was struggling to make egg bites at home. I was really struggling. I wanted like the perfect texture like Starbucks, and my pan was not nonstick, even though it said it was nonstick. Thanks, IKEA. Yeah, I was like in struggle city and I was just on the brink of giving up. But since I'm going to be getting up earlier on average with my new schedule, I was like, I need to meal prep egg bites because I can't, like, I'm not going to have time in my schedule to make eggs on those mornings that I wake up early. And like the egg bite to me is like the best form of like meal prepped eggs. I also like don't have the patience to have boiled eggs on the regular because like peeling eggs is like just a lot, just anxiety inducing. It's a little like overstimulating. And yeah, so egg bites was the way to go. I was like, okay, I'm going to look up like an actual recipe. So I went on TikTok and I watched like probably 20 different videos on how to make DIY egg bites, like sous de vie, I think is what it's called, like the way that they make them at Starbucks, which I guess they're like technically kind of like more steamed or like in like, it's weird because they make them in like the plastic packaging that they come in. They make them in that and then like boil them in that. It's like, I'm not sure about the process, but the texture's like amazing. They're like fluffy, they're light, and they're not like, I don't know how to describe it, but they're good. If you've ever had the egg bites from Starbucks, you know. So I was like, how do I recreate that at home? Well, so the first step was getting a silicone cupcake mold tray for my oven. So that was like the first step because pretty much every video that I watched, someone was using either silicone little like inserts or a whole tray that was just made of silicone. And I was like, okay, guess I got to do it. Got one. And then the other step was putting that silicone tray into like a baking dish and lining it with water so that like each little cup is like halfway submerged in water, if that makes sense. So that was the second step. Third step, a lot of people said if you really want them nice and fluffy and you really like don't want them to dry out and you're like not sure, whatever, you put a second baking dish filled with water in when you like turn the oven on to preheat. So that's what I did. So process all in all, preheat the oven, put that baking dish in when I set it to preheat, filled with water so the environment can get a little humid, you feel me? Then I followed this recipe. I used 12 eggs. And then most, if not all of these recipes called for cottage cheese. I don't eat cottage cheese. Dairy does not really agree with me. So I was like, what's an alternative? Some of the recipes used cream cheese, or they said that you could use cream cheese as an alternative. You're basically adding it mostly for moisture retention, which I guess is like the secret to egg bites is the moisture retention. Because when I made them before, they were so crusty and dry. It's like, okay, got it. So moisture, that's what we need. We need to moisturize the eggs, I guess. So I went to Whole Foods. This is one of the reasons why I went to Whole Foods, because I was like, well, I could add the vegan cream cheese from Trader Joe's, but the texture I feel like is weird. It's fine on a bagel, but I was like, I don't know. Let me look up some other ones. I went to Whole Foods. Kite Hill has a bunch of different like vegan cheese products. So I was like, okay, well, I'll go with Kite Hill because I've had some of them before and they're pretty good. Miyoko's also has stuff, but I was like, well, the Kite Hill one, they had a chive one. So I was like, okay, I think we're on to something. I got the Kite Hill chive vegan cream cheese. So good, by the way. I had like a little taste of it by itself because I was like, where are we going with this? Anyway, so in the blender, 12 eggs. I put half of the tub of the Kite Hill cream cheese. Then I just put like salt and pepper, and some people put hot sauce, but I was like, I don't want to put the hot sauce in it. I want to be able to like put the hot sauce on it when I'm eating them. So I just did that. Literally salt, pepper, the vegan cream cheese, and the eggs. Blended to shit, okay? Because they're like, yeah, you want like a little air in there too. Aerated a little bit so it's a little on the fluffy side. So I did that. I did spray the silicone molds with avocado oil. Loaded those babies up. Put them into the, water bath in the baking dish. Into the oven with the other water baking dish at I think I ended up doing like 325 because I had it at 300 at first and they were like not, they weren't cooking it. So then I think I flipped it up to 350 for the last 10 minutes. So realistically, 325 is probably good for 30 minutes. When I tell you these egg bites came out literally picture perfect. They were cooked to perfection, fluffy, did not, and I repeat, did not stick to the silicone mold. So it's like, obviously they wouldn't. That's the whole point. But oh my God, when I tell you these came out perfect, it's also really a perfect ratioed recipe because it makes 14 egg bites. And I got a silicone mold that only holds 7. So I did the first batch and then I let them cool, took them out, put the second batch in. 2 a day for the whole week for 7 days, baby. So I was like, wait, this literally could not be a more perfect recipe. I'm obsessed. So follow that recipe if you're trying to DIY some egg bites. I left half of them in the fridge and then I froze the other half so they would like keep throughout the week. You feel me? But they're literally so good. So I have for breakfast essentially 2 egg bites. I adore the plant-based sausage, the breakfast sausage from Trader Joe's. I literally eat one of those every single day. I love it so much. So to those egg bites with a little hot sauce. I also put spinach in them. I like forgot to mention that. I like tore up spinach and kind of like stirred it in there. So to the egg bites, vegan sausage. I got Saturn peaches from Trader Joe's last week and they're like finally ripe. So I've been eating some Saturn peaches and I had some leftover like potatoes that like breakfast potatoes that I've just been kind of eating sporadically. I don't really eat them every day, but like here and there, if I'm feeling like extra hungry, I will. Or if I know I have a busy day and I'm not going to be able to like eat till later, I will, which is what I did today. On to the next step of my meal prep. I was like, okay, I need a big, nutritious, meal to eat for din around like 5 or 6. That's kind of like when I've been eating dinner around like 5 or 6 with my new schedule. It's so weird because normally I would come home at like 9 o'clock and eat dinner. So everything is shifting. So I meal prepped some jasmine rice. Trader Joe's now has canned lentils, which like I love lentils so much. And cooking lentils is just sometimes like annoying because it takes so long to cook them, like green lentils, to cook them fully. It just takes so long and I feel like they never come out right personally. Maybe if I practiced and I like made them more often, it would work out. But nonetheless, Trader Joe's has a can of lentils now. So I'm gonna get the can of lentils and like save myself that time and the dishes, you feel me? So I made a pot of jasmine rice. I made roasted, there's this zigzag butternut squash from Trader Joe's that I literally love so much. So I literally just threw that into like a baking dish. And then I chopped a broccolini, mixed it all together, a little bit of avocado oil, salt and pepper, garlic, threw that baby in the oven with the egg bites, mind you. So I'm like doubling it up, y'all. You don't even understand. I'm the meal prep queen, okay? Threw that in. So I have a giant Tupperware, glass Tupperware that's like literally like this big. I don't even know how much like it holds, like the volume, but it's massive. And I use it if I'm like going to parties or like I'm bringing food somewhere, like entertaining, like, which I don't do often, but it's nice to have. So I just put the rice in there, the lentils in there, the roasted veggies in there. And yeah, so that's my like main part of my meal prep, my like dinner aspect of my meal prep. And then I made chia pudding, y'all. So I put half a cup of almond milk. Recently, I've been on my almond milk kick. I get the Khalifa Farms organic unsweetened almond milk. It's only 3 ingredients, so it's like the closest to a DIY that I can get in the store. There's also an Oatly, if you're more of an oat milk girl. There is an Oatly, like, I forget what it's labeled, like simple or something, but there is one Oatly carton that only has like 2 or 3 ingredients in it. So if you're opting for a plant-based milk, you guys really pay attention to that label in the stores. A lot of them have like weird gums added. If you are consuming that milk within like a week of opening it, like that quickly, there's no reason to be buying one that has like additives and like preservatives in it. The one that I buy literally has water, organic almonds, and sea salt. Those are the only ingredients. So it's optimal, and it's only 60 calories per 8-ounce serving. So I use half of a cup of this almond milk or oat milk, like whatever milk you prefer, I guess. Half a cup of milk with 3 tablespoons of chia seeds. To me, that's the perfect ratio. I don't like it when it's like still kind of like liquidy and watery after. I like it more thick. So I do that. And then usually I do like berries in it, but this week I had frozen pineapple that I wanted to just use up. And I had plums that were like all ripe, and I was like, okay, I need to like wash and use and cut and eat all of, like, how do I like consume all of these like right now? They're ripe. So I put pineapple in some of them, and then I put sliced plum in some of them. So we got some different flavor profiles going this week. But honestly, if you add like any fruit, especially banana, if you were to literally add any fruit, like you don't really need to sweeten the chia pudding, in my opinion, because the fruit, if you put the fruit in with it while it's like doing its thing, the juices are kind of getting everywhere. It kind of just naturally sweetens it. And I find that it doesn't need like sweetener. If I wanted to add sweetener and make it extra sweet, I would use probably like agave or honey. But I find that you don't need it. And then I always put cinnamon because I just think it's good. And then some days I'll have it with like granola on top, or like raw cashews or raw walnuts. That's like my go-to for nuts. But sometimes I just like eat it as is without any granola or anything. So that is like my post workout dinner / dessert that I eat like at night, like after I work out, before I shower and go to bed and all that. And it is literally like the perfect like lineup. You feel me? It's literally the perfect lineup. Could not get more perfect. All of those foods keep me like super satiated. And yeah, all that to say, I'm crowning myself the meal prep queen. Girl, you have no clue. College is where it started. She's back, baby. I'm back into the swing of things. I'm locked in. You don't even understand. Next topic on the pod. My cat is so freaking cute. I just wanted to share these pictures with y'all. I'm going to just put them up here and you could just admire while I gab a little bit about her. She's so freaking cute. The sun comes to the front of our place by our front window in the living room in the morning around 9 to like 11 a.m. And she's always like laying there by the window, kind of getting fresh air. We always like leave it cracked for her, but like we have a window lock in for safety. And, but she literally loves it. She's always laying there to get fresh air, like to begin with. That's just like her spot. But recently we've been opening the window all the way, and it's kind of an old school window. You'll see in the pictures where like the window is like opened top, like bottom up, like the where the windows slide up as opposed to like sliding left to right. And the windows themselves are like freaking ancient. You can tell. There's a lot of stuff in our place that's like pretty old. It's like been kept up well and taken care of, but it's old. You feel me? So we open the window, we slide it all the way up, and we put like a pole there so it doesn't fall. Because sometimes with the weather, if it like the wood like expands when it's hot and then it starts to cool down, like the window will just like slam shut on its own. Like I said, old. So we put like a little pole there to like keep it open. And we put like a little like blanket, or we'll put like a little towel in the windowsill so it's like comfortable for her, because we noticed it early on after we moved in that she likes to lay in the windowsill, like literally up against the screen, and just sunbathe. So we started putting like little towels and like things there so that she could have something to lay on and it be more comfortable. And these photos, y'all, are so freaking cute. I'm just obsessed with her, and she's been sunbathing so much. And it's just so cute. I just wanted to share that with y'all because I think it's adorable. I think in a perfect world, if we had the right place to put a catio, we 100% would. But I guess for now, that like window's just gonna have to do. We can't really make the catio thing happen. There's a lot of like wild animals, like possums, and like I've been hearing what I think might be a mouse the last few days. The last few nights, I just hear like a little squeak, like a little like at night after I shower, I have the bathroom window all the way open, and I can literally hear this little squeaking while I'm like getting ready for bed and winding down for the night. So I don't know. Like we're like, maybe not. We've never let her outside. She is not an outdoor cat. We want her to live as long as possible. And, you know, with some cats, you can like let them out in a controlled manner. Like I'm all for harness and leash and like taking your cat on walks and like doing that sort of thing. I wish that we had kind of done that with her when she was young, because I think she would like crash out if we tried to do that now. She literally her entire life hasn't even like wanted to wear a collar. Like the times we tried to put it on her as a kitten, she would literally like freak out. So she doesn't even wear a collar with like a name tag or anything. She's definitely not going outside, that's for sure. But like considering that, I highly doubt she would cooperate if we tried to put a harness on her. She won't even wear like a one collar around her neck. Imagine a harness. There's no way. There's no freaking way. There would be fighting words, as my dad likes to say. Fighting words for sure. But she's so cute. So I don't know. I love those like window things. Ultimately, that would be kind of cool too. But like she kind of already gets that experience. So it is what it is. Okay, y'all. Last segment on the pod today. I have an album review. I have just discovered, maybe I'm late to the game. Like I said, apparently I'm like always late to every game, period. That was the title of last week's episode. But I have just discovered Beéle. He's a Colombian artist and never heard his music before. I'll be so honest. Maybe I heard like a feature or something, but he released an album called Borondo, and girl, when I tell you, this album put me through an emotional roller coaster. I was like shaking ass. I was in my feels. So this album to me like is kind of a no skip album. I really genuinely enjoyed every track on this album. There are some clear standouts in my opinion and some clear hits. Literally every song in my opinion is pleasant and enjoyable, and like I would have no reason to skip. So they're all in my playlists like miscellaneously, but these are the top songs that stood out to me. There were 7 songs to me that stood out that I have been streaming nonstop. Okay. If you want to get in your feels, you're going to want to listen to Una vez al mes and I Miss You. Those songs are just like, they're so good, but like in your feels, girl, I'm telling you, in them feels. Bye is addicting. There's something so addicting about that song. Same with Top Diesel. That's the other song that I'm like, there's some crack in this. There's something in this that's going up to some receptors in my brain, girl, and I can't leave it alone. So those really genuinely are probably my top 2, Bye and Top Diesel. But No Tiene Sentido is also really good. That's a hit. Like, it's catchy as hell. I can't get enough of it. I also love Estrella Fugaz. That one is really nice. Just a vibe. Every song is a straight vibe. They're all just like alien vibes, like And I want to do some like deep dive and like more research on this artist, because like I'm hearing like producer tags that are like London, and I'm hearing like Bombo Clat, but he's Colombian, so I'm like, what's the vibes here? What's the background? Like, who are you working with? Where have you been? Like, who are you? So I want to do a deep dive and do a little bit more research on this artist so I can get the full picture. I also just want to listen to like the rest of his like discography. I don't know how long he's been around or anything. I don't know shit about this man. All I know is that this album is fire. It's a 10 out of 10 in my opinion. And I know he's already on the map, but I'm sure that this project is putting him on the map even more. And I'm really curious to hear some of his future music because this shit was like, I think I originally heard Top Diesel on like a random Latin playlist. And I was like, huh? Who are you? Who is this? And then I went to his artist profile on Apple Music and I added the album to my listen to this shit playlist. And then I finally listened to it this week. And yeah, it was just super shocking. This is his debut album. Some of the description on Apple Music says, while Latin stars now regularly dabble in Afrobeats as pop music cheat code, Beéle was one of a rare few Spanish language artists to commit to exploring that sound. So if y'all are a fan of like Afrobeats and Latin music, to me, this is giving like summer, like in its purest essence, it's giving summer, but it's like summer on the beach with like a little cocktail and like just vibing out and like you have nowhere to be. And it's just like very freeing. It's free. I have no worries. I have no concerns. It's like island time. It's giving island time. You feel me? So yeah, this project is amazing. Another part of the description says, with an ear for global polyrhythms and a penchant for romantic lyricism, the Colombian singer becomes reliably known for his singles and a distinct style that commingle with concurrent tropical music trends. On Borondo, his long-awaited debut album, he shares an even broader sonic vision that both builds on that reputation and expands upon it. Throughout Borondo, Beéle reinforces his worldwide connections, linking with his hit-making Nigerian producer. This is London. Okay, period. That literally answered my question that I had earlier. So thanks and you're welcome. For Si Mañana Me Muero and salsa superstar Mark Anthony for Dios Me Halló. Yeah, that song is... I'll be honest, I'm not trying to be a Mark Anthony hater because I know y'all love him, and I love him too, but that song was like the only song that I was like, meh. Like to me, the collab didn't really make sense. Maybe other people would like it, but that song was kind of like mid to me. Esteemed Mexican singer Carla Morrison provides an ideal duet partner on Reina, yet some of the most gratifying collaborations here are wholly homegrown ones, with Nanpa Basico sharing his heartache on Hasta Aquí Llegue, and no less than Ovi on the drums, co-headlining the balmy yet energetic Mirefe. Yeah, I mean, it's just so good. I'm going to put it linked, the Apple Music and the Spotify link in the description. Go listen to it and vibe. Like you will not regret it and you will thank me later. So literally 10 out of 10. I hope you enjoy. My episode's going to be short and sweet today, y'all. I've kind of had like a chill week and I don't have that much to gab about. So I hope you have a wonderful week and a fun weekend and stay safe. And I will see you next week. Bye.